and liberty and justice for all.
Sure, would you call the roll, please?
Kalinowski.
Here.
Ball. Here. Walker.
Here.
Williams.
Here.
Kaczynski.
Here.
Guerra. Here. Cruz.
Here. Okay, we need to approve the meeting agenda, which includes under communications and announcements a letter from the Michigan Liquor Control Commission regarding the application and transfer of a liquor license. And under department and committee reports, you have under A, Water Department, or Wade Trum monthly report in your packets. B, Fire Department. C, Planning Commission. We need to make a recommendation to approve the appointment of one Planning Commission member to fill the vacancy of an unexpired term ending December 31st, 2015. Under the Personnel Committee report, we have actually 3 items. I would like to add one item there. We have, first of all, annual employee evaluation for Lynn Creers, effective March 1st, 2014. Item 2, annual employee evaluation for Bruce Brown, effective April 1st, 2014. And item 3, liquor inspectors. Item E, Board of Review. F, Peg Commission. G, Sewer Project. And under that, we have been asked by the DDA to reinstate the Ad Hoc Sewer Committee. They appointed 2 members and are asking us to appoint 2 members, so we'll take care of that at that time. Under new business, item A is opening of sealed bids received for the 1997 Dodge Caravan offered for sale by Charter Township filer. B, consideration of request for financial support from the Manistee Conservation District in the amount of $745 for the Household Hazardous Waste Clean Sweep Collection Day to take place in Manistee County on Saturday, August 16, 2014. Item C is consideration of approval of the presented fiscal year 2015 budget as discussed at the budget hearing held on February 4th, 2014, and appropriate the millage for the purpose of 1.39555 township operating, 1 mil for refuse, and 1/2 mil for fire and rescue, and 1/2 mil for the fire bond. Item D is consideration of approval of presented wages, salaries, charges, and fees resolution for 2014-15. Item E, consideration of approval of the presented Downtown Development Authority budget for the fiscal year 2015. F is consideration of the annual spring brush pickup.
Can I ask you what the addition of personnel is?
The Personnel Committee reviewed the liquor revenue and looked at increasing the amount appropriated or paid per liquor inspection. Any other questions or additions to the meeting agenda? If not, I would entertain a motion for approval.
I so move. Support.
Motion by Kalinowski, second by Williams to approve the meeting agenda. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carried. Consideration of approval of the consent agenda. On the consent agenda tonight, we have the minutes of the regular board meeting in your packet from February 4th. Item B, we have minutes of the budget hearing that was held February 4th, 2014. Item C, the financial report. D is the approval of Township General Fund expenditures, including the fire department checks 30956 through 31046. Accounts payable totaling $60,000, $439.04. Payroll totaling $14,884.39 for a grand total of $75,323.43. Item E is approval of Water Department expenditures, checks 1977 through 1984, totaling $19,204.74. F, approval for board members to attend the Northwest Michigan Council of Governments Housing Demand and Development Opportunities in Manistee County Luncheon meeting to be held on March 6, 2014 in Manistee at no charge. Item G is approval of a budget amendment transferring $60,000 from the Water Department fund balance to the transfer out account of the Water Department. Item H is approval of a budget amendment transferring $2,000 from the fund balance of the general fund to the assessor's salaries. Item I, approval for Township Supervisor to attend the Michigan Association of Township Supervisors Annual Spring Education Conference in Frankenmuth during April at a cost of $250 plus accommodations. Item J is approval for board members to attend the Michigan Townships Association workshop titled Hiring, Firing, and Keeping Employees. That's at various locations during the month of March at a cost of $79 each. Any questions, additions to the consent agenda?
Yeah, we missed one of them, right? Which one was that? Right at the very beginning.
You mean he missed reading it?
No. What's the date today?
So the 5th, that's tomorrow.
That's tomorrow, that one you got, but then that's tomorrow, I'm sorry, I'm wrong.
I'll make the motion.
I'll second it.
Motion by Cruz, second by Scarrett to approve the consent agenda. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carried. Item A on the agenda, communications and announcements. Sure, we need to approve that.
It says right here in the last paragraph.
Is this a new license or is it just being transferred?
It's just a transfer, so maybe we don't need to.
This letter to notify us of the change.
Okay.
Over here, approval of the local unit of government is not required. It's the third paragraph.
So you read that carefully. Okay, then public comment. Any public comment tonight? Pardon me, Betty?
Is that what it is?
Yes.
120 East County Line Road.
Thank you.
Any other public comments? Okay. You have your report from Ron, but I understand before you make that report, Ron, Kevin, you had a presentation you wanted to make.
It's always been a long-standing tradition that when our firefighters retire, that we give them a gift on the fire department. Before I go on, I'd like to award one of our firefighters that retired back in 2009. An identical flag was given to Gary Bowman 2 years ago when he retired, and also Charlie Wisniewski. The flags are flown over 10 House, Station 10, Engine 10 in New York City, the station closest to the World Trade Center. The station was actually demolished during the incident After it was rebuilt, I sent flags there. The firefighters were very honored to fly them and send them back to me. So I'd like to acknowledge and award Bill Fortin Jr. for his service to the Fowler Township Fire Department and to this great community that we serve. My apologies that this wasn't done in 2019. BJ?
On behalf of the Township BJ, behalf of the board, I'd like to thank you for your years of service. Welcome. Appreciate it.
And at this time, I know I don't have much time, but I'd like to announce to the board my official resignation as Fowler Township Fire Assistant Chief. I joined the department in May of 1988, and it was finding hard to swallow that someone with so many years of dedicated service to this community could be treated so poorly. Expectations of our firefighters have gone through the roof. When budget time comes, maybe instead of giving fire command raises, we need to look at the men and women who serve this community and are dedicating hours and hours on Saturdays and on Mondays to serve this community. If you ask any other fire department, including Hart Fire, who is a city fire department, who services an entire city and 2 townships, they meet once Monday, 3 hours, and that's it. There's no more. I also take personal offense to numerous emails that the chief has sent me. They were both hurtful and disheartening. Instead of sitting down with me and talking with me about his issues, he decided to obviously send me emails that were very upsetting both to me and to my wife. I could go on and on about the things that I'm very upset about. There's a letter that Mr. Walker has when we sat down for 3 hours and discussed my concerns. I dedicated, me and my wife, much time to Halloween parties, Halloween parades. We've dedicated many hours of service to this township. No township employee should ever be treated the way I'm being treated. And the board needs to open their eyes and understand that. I joined the department in May of 1988 after a very stellar service in the United States Army. I've been on since May of 1988. There's been firemen that left this department and retired that have gotten nothing, including Mr. Fortin, because of what side of the list you were on. I'm sure I will make that side of the list and probably receive nothing. So along with my resignation as Assistant Fire Chief, I talked with my wife earlier and seen her in tears before I came here. I have 2 of my partners that I would give down my life for. Officer Summers and Officer Salazar, who made the trip up from the city of Hart to represent me. And if anybody has any questions about my dedication to service to others, I have 2 American Police Life-Saving Awards where I put my life on the line. So I think there's no question about that. But yet, I received emails that Mr. Walker has, emails that are sent to administrators in this community, including the fire chief from the city of Manistee, the sheriff, directors at the hospital. Read those emails and tell me if that's the type of person you want leading that department. They're mean, they're vindictive, and I had to go back, little does he know, to try to do damage control after those letters were sent to those administrators. Those letters are included with Mr. Walker as well. I encourage you to read them. I thought long and hard about this, a lot of sleepless nights for weeks. And at this point, I'm also resigning from the Fowler Township Fire Department. I wish them the best of luck. I wish the board would start opening your eyes and truly seeing what's happening there. There's some dedicated firemen that are leaving this department. Gary Bowman, Chucky Wisniewski, whose plaque is sitting, who sat in the bottom of a dusty file cabinet, never awarded to him. I took it upon myself to send that in the mail with a letter to Charlie saying thank you for your service. That's how you're awarded. That's how you're represented. I cannot be a part of that anymore. I represented this township well. I would do anything for the township, anything for these residents. I would lay down my life just like I would do in Hart. I've never seen anything like this, the vindictive emails that I've gotten from the chief. Vindictive. I also left the tactical team because policy and procedure, and I want to clarify because I know there's difference of opinions. I left the tactical team because when we started that team, there was policy, and I can show you that policy that said it. One member of the team says, no, I do not want that person on. They didn't need to give an explanation. All we knew was that the person wasn't going to be on the tactical team. Policy and procedure was changed. And now we let anybody on, despite if we didn't want them or we didn't feel comfortable working them in an environment that I've trained to be as a police officer. I'll stand next to those two gentlemen in the back any day during a gunfight. But if I don't trust them, I'm not going to raise my hand and put them on a team. That was change. The people that I thought shouldn't be on the team are now on the team, so I retired. Look into that team and find out where it's going. There's no physical fitness test that we had talked about when we first made the team. It's policy and procedures are being followed. So I left that team. 2 days later, a day later, I received the first email from Chief Gutowski. The first very negative email, and then 2 came after that. As a matter of fact, one tonight telling me that I was going to be let go to be the assistant chief anyway, because I'm not doing my job. I did my job. I did my job. But you know what's important to me? My family. And then my career as a police sergeant with the Hart Police Department, and then the fire department. I'm sorry that that doesn't match the expectations of my fire chief or this board, but I'm not going to put my family anywhere else but on top of that list. And these dedicated men in the back that I serve with down at Hart Police Department every day. As the way of liquor inspections, whether you vote me out or not to do liquor inspections, take a look at those liquor inspections. I've made a rapport with some of these people in this town that I can correct deficiencies without having to write anybody up. It's just a matter of saying you need to display that differently. I would ask that the board continue to allow me to do liquor inspections after 20-some years of doing them and as constable, when I was constable. I know these people very well. I know how to work with them, and I ask that you continue to have me do those inspections. As far as I'm done with the department, I'm devastated. I truly am. I love that department as much as I loved anything else. That's why I built a house right behind you. So every day I can look out and see it. I was a dedicated fireman, and I'm not going to have anybody ever tell me that I wasn't. Nobody. I won't allow that. So give your raises. But I ask you, when you talk about raises for the fire department, you give it to those brave men and women that are out there on the front line. You give them a raise. Give them a raise. They're the ones that are doing it. They're the ones that are crawling in those houses, putting those fires out. Give the raise to those, not your administration. Because if I was still the assistant chief, I would turn that raise down and give it right back to my men and women that I serve with. Before anything else happens, here's my badge. If there's anything else that I didn't return, I ask that the police aren't contacted to come to my house like it's been done in the past. I will return all the equipment that I have at my residence to Mr. Walker. If anybody has any questions, I know I've gone past my 3 minutes. My apologies. This has been a tough day. It's been a tough month for me. I bid farewell to the fire department. Hats off to them and the job that they do. Thank you.
Thank you, Kevin. I thank you for your service, your dedication. I'm truly sorry that this has come to be. And with that, Ron, in your report, I see you've got an officer list for board approval. That's news to me. I don't know if it's news to the rest of the board. It was my understanding in the personnel committee meeting that we were going to take 2 months and have all the officers document their time,
correct,
what they were doing. Was not specified the current list of officers, but that was certainly, I thought, the understanding.
I'm required to submit a list of officers to the board every year. And that's with this.
And is there, are there other changes on this list?
Just the Jim Espovic as assistant chief, and then Mike Martin as the training officer in Jim's place.
Well, who's going to be the EMS lieutenant?
Oh, I'm sorry. That's a typo. That's Vince Majeski.
Kevin asked to step down as fire chief?
No. I would dispute the items that Kevin brought up. The tactical team, nothing, and I texted him again and told him that nothing had changed in the tactical team. If at the time came for training to start and he did not agree with one of the members, that member would not have been on the team. That's standard operating procedure. Yes, I had the member that he was worried about at a training meeting. Actually, I had him at two meetings. One was a training meeting, and one was where we went through equipment bags and looked at equipment we had. If it came to the actual training that we were going to do, the physical training, the normal stuff that we do, he would not have been on the team if everyone didn't agree. And that's what the procedure says. And those people that have to agree are the sheriff, because we work under law enforcement, myself as a team commander, and then the team leader, which was Kevin's job as team leader. If we got ready to do the actual training and there was a disagreement, then that person would not have been on the team.
So you did the training?
We have not done training.
You haven't done the training?
No.
How many fire departments have this technical, that particular team you're talking about?
Just Filer.
Just Tyler in the state of Michigan?
Oh, in the state of Michigan? Oh, no, Manistee County. In Manistee County. The Region 7, I don't know how many departments actually have them. I know a lot of departments in the southern part of the state. Each county has probably one. As far as northern Michigan, I'm not sure how many. When we had our last training, we had a team, 2 officers from a team in southern part of the state come up and spoke to us.
So this is something we really don't need in the fire department.
Well, I would disagree with that. Our purpose is, it doesn't, we don't have all of our equipment was purchased by the Revenue Sharing Board. We don't get paid. We didn't pay for any equipment. Our vehicle is the one provided by Manistee City Police, the Hummer that we use for that. Our only cost would be for the fuel in it. We are there our primary response is school shootings. Shooting would be like a shooting at the casino, shooting at a school. If an officer is down and he can't be extricated by other officers, we have the armor that we can go in and make a rescue of an officer that's down. And that's the whole purpose of it.
Okay, why should the township pay for something that's going to happen in Manistee County, per se? Why should we send our people?
But you're not paying us to do it.
But you're affiliated with the township.
We're affiliated with the township, but we don't get paid. We're affiliated with the fire department because that's what we're organized through. And then we work for, we are special deputies at the sheriff's office. We're there basically to protect the kids in school. If there's a school shooting, we'll go in the school while the school shooting is still going on. We will go in with the police and start doing patient care. If there's a mass shooting at the casino, Vogue Theater, wherever you name it, we'll go in with the police. We don't wait until the scene is secure and when the ambulance people would go in. We go in ahead and start taking care of patients.
How many men are on the tactical team?
I'm sorry?
How many men are on the tactical team?
Right now we have 4, would be 4. The maximum allowed is 5. And we only have 4, well, either 3 or 4 at this time. When we get ready to do the actual training, we'll see actually how many we have. We just limit it to that many because That's what we have equipment for, and we don't want it to become unruly. That's that type of an incident.
Was that team established at the request of the county or the city, or?
No, it was formed. We formed that team in the fire department after the sergeant was shot in Traverse City, and he was in a position out in front of a house where the other law enforcement officers couldn't get to him, and there was no one to go there and rescue him, and that's where he died, right there in the front yard. So far, we've responded to one shooting incident with the SWAT team, and we've gone to a couple bomb threats. We've gone to a threat in the Madison area public schools. We've responded to. Two things will happen if we get called out. You will get a call. Terry will call you and tell you that we're going out, and then we also make sure that the sheriff knows we're going out because we're working for him.
I assume though you get the call through
We will.
the sheriff's department or the
Either that, either you'll receive a phone call from me or you'll receive a phone call from Central Dispatch.
You said you responded to one shooting,
Right?
but you guys don't carry weapons.
No. No, they assign us. We had a member of the SWAT team assigned to us for our safety on scene. We worked with a paramedic from the regional SWAT team. Actually, Kevin went in the Bearcat, the armored vehicle, with the SWAT team up to the house with that scene. If any of the board members, we're going to have that equipment at the county fair this fall. But if any of you would like to come over, let me know ahead of time, and we'll get our equipment out, and I can show you exactly what we have and what we do, and I'd be more than happy to do that. Or any member of the public that wants to know what we do with that is more than welcome to give me a call, and I'll meet you there any day of the week. And I'm home. As far as what's going on at the fire station, I would invite you to come over to the fire station anytime you want. If you wish, come on a Monday night. I will stay in my office, and you can go in there and talk to anybody you want. We have a roster listing our personnel with their phone numbers and addresses. If you wish to, I'll provide you with that roster and their numbers, and you can call any of them at home. You feel free. You don't have to tell me. You don't have to ask me. I'd be more than happy to have you do that and see whether they're happy or unhappy. I have nothing to hide. I have no issues whatsoever. As far as those the emails that he's talking about, I'm not sure which emails he provided you with. I'd be more than happy to provide an explanation for each and every one of those, of the reason it was and how it was intended when I sent it to him. When I sent him an email and telling him that I was not going to reappoint him as assistant chief. When I did that, I told him we had a meeting 6 weeks ago, and I asked him if he could dedicate 10 hours a month to the fire department. And he told me that he could not guarantee that because of his job. And I 100% understand. My intention wasn't to fire him or anything else for any reason. He's a sergeant with the Hart Police. He's a supervisor. He does a lot of their investigations. He runs their drug program in schools in the city of Hart. He teaches CPR to his officers. He teaches weapons, firearms training to all the officers. He qualifies all the officers. He does works as an instructor with the West Shore Community College. He works there in their law enforcement program. So he's very busy. I have no problem with the way Kevin has performed, as I told him in the email when I told him I wasn't going to reappoint him. His fire ground command is excellent. He does a super job when he's there on the job, and I have no problem with that whatsoever. You know, it's your fire department. You're welcome to come anytime you want. Talk to anyone you want to talk to. So I guess I'm just asking for approval of the officers. Again, I need this approval for you to operate. If you can change this, if there's some reason that something needs to be changed later, after we go through the process of the personnel committee or whatever, this can be revisited. This is not set in cement. Again, this is your department. These are my officers that I can work with on a daily basis. They're very dedicated, and I would like your approval for us to continue until something comes up that we need to change it.
In the last month, how many days has Kevin made it to the fire department?
I'm sorry?
In the last month, how many meetings has he made to the fire department? Yeah, Monday night meeting.
I don't think I have that with me.
Does he make Monday night meetings?
He makes, he works 4 days on, or 3 days on, 4 days off, 10 hours, or 12 hours a day. And so he will, there's a 4 days on, 4 days off. Anyway, he comes to 4 meetings in a row most of the time, and then he'll be gone for 4 meetings, 4 weeks. As far as the number of calls people make, I think he made 17% of the calls. I did not.
How does that compare with the other men in the department?
Yeah.
Is that comparable?
I would have to go in the computer and pull that up and print it and bring it with me. I cannot tell you. It all depends. I did 95% when I retired 2 years ago, so I can make the daytime calls. If you want that information, I'm more than happy to come over and bring it over to anyone that would like to see it. We do that annually. We'll go through and review the responses and how many people came to how many calls, and then look at their work schedules. And
You got the type of call it is, and all that.
well, we generally do just a percentage because we don't separate. Kevin is fire and EMS, so he can respond to everything. Take someone like Dale Roberts, who works swing shift. He's a firefighter, not EMS, so his percentage will be low because he only comes to fire calls. So those are items you have to look at when you look at how many responses people can do.
I wouldn't mind seeing that. Just
Okay. I'll bring you the report for 2014.
that'll show
I mean,
for all-
2013
for
for the
all
whole
firefighters
department.
and EMS.
How many firefighters do you lose? You lost any?
Have we lost any? We haven't lost any recently. I anticipate that we're going to have a couple that are going to leave probably this year. I have one that's going to finish college, and she's going to come back and she will be with us. And it all depends on where the work shows up. We've got another one that's in college. He'll be with us all summer, but I anticipate in a year or two that he will be finding a job somewhere too, so he will be gone. Have a couple that are talking about retiring because they've been doing it for 30-some years. So I'll be more than happy to. Pardon?
Do you have an age limit?
No. No, because then you're age discrimination.
What?
Then it becomes age discrimination. What we do is we don't limit people by their age. we limit what they can do. We're not going to take someone who's 70 years old and put a breathing apparatus on them and send them in a fire. We're not going to take someone who's 65, 70 years old and give them a motorized cutting tool to go cut open a wall or a garage door, climb a ladder and cut open a roof or something like that. But there are other things that those people can do on the fire ground to help the firefighters that are actually doing the firefighting. One of those that's most important is changing air bottles. You've got the pack on your back. It's pretty hard to change your own air bottle. So we have someone there that you bend over, kneel down, and they take your bottle out and put in your new bottle for you. They also provide assistance when the air truck comes to refill bottles. They take the bottles to the air truck, get them filled, and bring them back and put them in the location where the filled bottles are. Mr. Johnson is one of those people that does that. He'll take the empty bottles to the air truck, get them filled, bring them back, and put them in the... You've got an empty area and a full area, so that we're constantly rotating them. And with our automatic mutual aid, they not only assist our personnel, but other departments as well that are at our fire scene. But we do not make people retire at a certain age.
Okay, any other questions? Ron?
I'm gonna make a motion that we go ahead and approve the officers list because we need a full slate of officers.
I'll second that.
Motion by Cruz, second by Williams to approve the slate of officers for the fire department as presented by Fire Chief Ron Kutowski. Any further discussion? All in favor of the motion as presented?
Aye.
Opposed?
Aye.
Again, I'm going to invite you to bring any questions you have to the fire station. I apologize that this had to be brought to the board in this manner. Anything I can do to reassure you or the department can do, please let me know. Any information you need, I'd be happy to bring to you. As stated, we have nothing to hide. I have nothing to hide. If you want to see every email I ever sent, that's fine with me.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Planning Commission need to approve the appointment of the vacancy in the Planning Commission, and we have one person who responded, one applicant for that vacancy, and that is Karen Polk. After looking at Karen's application and having known Karen for a lot of years, I would recommend to the board that we approve or ask you to approve that appointment of Karen Polk to the Planning Commission.
I'll make a motion.
I'll second it.
Motion by Cruz, second by Skira to approve supervisor's recommendation to appoint Karen Polk to the Planning Commission to fill the vacancy of Terry Lindemann's unexpired term ending December 31st, 2015. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Item D from the Personnel Committee. And Ron, before you leave, I've got a question. Because we're dealing with Personnel Committee right now. One of those three things on there was the liquor inspectors. I just wanted to ask you came up with I guess a description for.
Right, but that was...
Did you and Kevin sit down and do this together, or is this going to work for him if he continues in that role?
Well, what that is that was an idea that was brought up to me by Shirley. and all I did was put it in the computer. The reason they're divided up the way they are is Kevin told me that with his work schedule, as I said, about if you go in some of those places like the bars, if you go in at a certain time of the day, you get a lot of flack from some of the patrons in there. And so I tried to put the bars in one group and then the other businesses in another. If I don't care which one.
Okay. And
If I do the bars,
adjusted.
yeah, oh yes, I just took the name. I can go early in the day when the bars open before everybody comes in, and that's the way they're divided that way. How you guys want to divide them up, it doesn't matter to me.
Yeah, I don't think we're going to get into the division of it.
Right, Shirley, are you going to present that to Kevin?
It's here, if we were approved to do that, we'll definitely send it out.
Okay, and like I said, I made a number 1 and a number 2.
Yeah.
I don't care which of those I am. You can just notify me which.
Yeah. And I think mainly what we're going to look at for approval is the pay for that, for those inspections.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay, thank you.
Okay, then, item number 1 under the Personnel Committee was the annual evaluation of Lynn Coolers, effective March 1st, and you have that in your packet, the recommendation from the Personnel Committee to provide to grant a 1.5% annual wage increase to Lynn, and that came to 29 cents per hour pay increase, bringing her new hourly rate to $19.85 per hour, effective March 1st, 2014.
All right, I'll make the motion that we do that.
Second.
Okay, motion by Cruz, second by Kolonoski.
You did a good job for us.
Yes, to approve the recommendation for the 1.5% wage increase for Lynn Coolers. Any discussion? Shirley, you want to call the roll?
Walker,
Yes.
Kuczynski. Kalinowski.
Yes.
Cruz.
Yes.
Ball, yes. Carol. Yes. Williams.
Yes.
Okay, motion carried. And item 2, Bruce Brown's annual employee evaluation. And again, you have in your packet the recommendation from the Personnel Committee to approve a 1.5% pay increase also for Bruce Brown, which amounts to $498 annually.
I'll make that motion, approve that.
Support.
Motion by Skira, support by Williams to approve the recommendation to grant Bruce Brown a 1.5% pay increase. Shirley, you want to call the roll?
Effective April 1, right?
Yes, effective April 1st, 2014.
Skira? Yes. Cruz?
Yes.
Williams?
Yes.
Kalinowski?
Yes.
Ball, yes. Walker?
Yes.
Kuczynski?
And then the last item was the liquor inspectors. It was the recommendation of the Personnel Committee again to approve a $5 per inspection increase for liquor inspections for the coming year.
How many are they inspecting? Oh, I didn't see that list.
13.
Yeah, there's 13. 13.
We're doing 6 and 7.
Yes.
Make the motion, go ahead.
I'll support.
Motion by Cruz, second by Hachinsky, to approve the recommendation to increase the per inspection pay for the liquor inspectors by $5.
And we're going to make this effective March 1st? Or
Yes.
April 1st with the new fiscal year? Or was it not?
I don't think that was addressed. Let's go with the fiscal year.
April 1.
Yeah. Any discussion there? Shall we call roll?
Williams?
Yes.
Walker?
Yes.
Bola? Yes. Kalinowski?
Yes.
Jazinski? Sarah? Yes.
Yes.
Okay, you have the Board of Review minutes in your packet. And Board of Review will be meeting on the 19th from 9 until 4. And again on Thursday, the 20th from 3 until 9.
That's the last week.
Item F, Peg Commission, you have a report in your packet. Dale or Dean, do you have anything to add to that report?
We'll be getting a packet about how much they want for next year and stuff. It will be probably next meeting because we just got it. So we have to pass it out to everybody so we can read on it. And it looks like around 47 that they're going to ask. Channels.
And the new channels, 189 and 190. People probably searching for them, huh?
Not me. I haven't. What's on 189?
Yeah, they
Well, that's the new channels now, from what they used to be.
What is that? That number is that?
Channels 189 and 190.
90.
They're gone.
No, they're
They're
not.
the ones that you're going to be watching now.
They're the new ones now.
I don't like that system, no.
You don't?
No. 89 and what else?
189,
189 and 190.
190.
If you don't have that box, it's got to be on another channel.
Yeah. I got the box.
Oh, you're saying you have to put your box on
I do.
189?
You gotta plug in channel 189.
Just watch what I'm giving.
We've got more classes from the video class, more video from the video class and Manistee High too. So they're doing some stuff and then we're getting it on the air for them.
And also the video production class has been doing so well, they have decided to give them another advanced class. So they're being 2 classes.
That's
And
great.
they're producing some excellent work. Really, really.
Now, who's teaching that class? Is that Brian Bain?
Yes, yes it is.
Is he going to do the advanced class? too?
Yes. And our website will be on in a couple of weeks, a brand new website. much easier to maneuver. Right now, it's easy to watch the meetings on the old website because we got that part fixed. But then the new website will be coming out in about 2 weeks.
And the new website's gonna be a lot easier to use.
Yeah.
It's clear. I think they did a nice job.
Well, it's professionally done as opposed to me doing it.
I think you did a real good job of what you did. So.
Yeah, well, I tried.
Okay, under sewer project, the DDA is looking to reinstate the ad hoc subcommittee, sewer committee, which was dissolved after Wade Trung was hired as the value engineer of record, and they appointed Bob Yates and Tim Fogarty, and we need to appoint 2 members again also. Dean and Dale served on that before, and I guess it would be my recommendation that we consider keeping those 2 guys on that committee where they served before. In fact, I will make a motion to that effect.
I'll support it.
Any discussion, questions?
Yeah. If you're reinstating the old committee, you're having all the old members, right? Bob was on it and Tim was on it?
Bob was on it,
Okay,
Tim was on it, yeah.
and now also Dean and Dale were on it, and they're going to be as well.
All in favor of that? Did I have a second to that?
No.
Yeah, Tom seconded, okay, yeah. Motion by Walker, second by Kaczynski. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Under new business, we have a couple of bids.
Can you just tell us what this ad hoc committee is going to be doing this time?
They're going to be meeting with Brian to go over more detail in terms of costs and, in terms of the township constructing their own maintenance operation costs, construction costs, all that sort of thing.
Two bids this time.
Yeah. We received a bid of $500 for the Dodge Caravan from Erica Lynn. And we received a bid of $200 from Charles Price of Price Road.
Does anyone know what it's worth for the caravan? I think Ron told me it was valued about $700, but I'm not positive on it now. It's gone. So.
And we did not put a
Jim, do you know
minimum
the
bid
value?
on the ad. No idea what it's worth, Jim? No?
Is it even right?
Blue Book on it was like $700 or something.
Yeah.
Well, then I'm right in remembering that.
That's a 97, and it has 99,775 miles on it. It's in fairly good operating condition considering the age
Got a
and
battery in it, it runs fine.
it runs fine.
So how much we
We'll
want?
still put it as is, no guarantee on it.
Yeah.
What's it worth, do you know?
Huh?
What's it worth? You're the
I think
contractor.
it's worth much more than that, to tell you the truth.
We didn't put a reserve on it.
Did we put a reserve on it?
I don't think so.
We didn't put a minimum bid on it, no.
Sell it for the 500, that sounds good.
And go with the highest bid.
Is that a motion?
I'll make a support.
Motion by Kalinowski, supported by Cruz to sell the minivan for $500 to Erica Lynn
As is.
as is.
Because that sat around a long time.
Yeah.
And you don't want it back in your building, do you?
Item B under new business is...
We need to vote.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, we do. Okay.
Want a roll call?
Yeah, you can call the roll.
That's what we got Shirley.
Go in something. Okay, Williams?
Yes.
Ball? Yes. Kalinowski?
Yes.
Kaczynski?
Yes.
Walker?
Yes.
Garrett? Yes. Cruz?
Yes.
Okay, item B, consideration of request for financial support from the Manistee Conservation District in the amount of $745 for the household hazardous waste clean sweep collection day, which will take place on August 16, 2014. And they have in there how many people have used that, the amount of hazardous waste that was collected from 5 residents last year. Quite a bit.
And I talked to a lot of people, they would get rid of a lot of their old paints.
Yeah. Yeah, a lot of stuff that you can't put in the trash pickup. How do you get rid of it? And I can't find the amount now.
That's the same as last year, 745.
The amount of stuff that was collected from...
2,365.
Yep, there it is, yep. 2,365 pounds. That's a lot.
That's a lot.
Yep.
Does every township pay that?
They're asked to pay it. I
It's-
don't know if they all.
Well, it's based on residents, an amount per resident, which was 32 cents per resident.
I guess I'd be curious how many people from Fiverr actually use it.
38 households.
Yeah.
We don't know how many people live in each household.
Yeah. I keep forgetting about it all the time.
I know I've got stuff piled up from last year I was going to take to it, and I didn't make it, so
And
I'm
then
hoping to get rid of it this year.
I got some nasty stuff.
Yeah.
I'll make a motion that we go ahead and do it, because it's been, if the number goes down or something, let's look at it next time.
I'll second that motion.
Motion by Cruz, second by Segura to approve the request for the financial support in the amount of $745 to the Manistee Quilts Conservation District for household hazardous waste clean sweep collection. Want to call the roll on that, too?
Cruz?
Yes.
Kaczynski?
Yes.
Scarra? Yes. Kalinowski?
Yes.
Ball? Yes. Walker?
Yes.
Williams?
Yes.
Okay, item C is consideration of approval of the presented fiscal year 2015 budget as discussed at the budget hearing on February 4th and appropriate the millage for the purpose of 1.39555 township operating, 1.0 refuse, 0.50 fire and rescue, and 0.50 for fire bond.
I so move.
I'll second that motion. Motion by Cruz, second by Walker to approve the presented fiscal year 2015 budget as presented at the favor?
No.
Aye.
Oh, I'm sorry, yep.
Williams,
Yes.
Kaczynski,
Yes.
Bruce,
Yes.
Walker,
Yes.
Ball, yes, Carol,
Yes.
Kolonowski,
Yes.
Okay, item D is consideration of approval of the presented wages, salaries, charges, and fees resolution for 2014-2015. And you have a copy with the new items highlighted and a copy of the old compared to.
I couldn't find the difference between the new and the new.
Yeah, it's hard, you have to go back and look at the old.
Well, I noticed from the old to the new, but then this new one that was here today, I can't see any difference from the other new one.
Well,
Some difference. The new was highlighted.
Well, they're all highlighted, highlighted on
There was
both.
something.
And the highlights are the same on both of them.
I thought I found one difference. No, I don't know where it is.
So you don't have the assessor.
Right, you don't have the assessor on it, that's the difference.
The assessor is
yeah.
gone because he was a standalone. Now, the other
Yeah.
thing that we have here is the liquor inspectors that we just handled separately. They're also on this resolution. It's $1,100 a year. So I can't tell now. I guess we're going to have to just change this from $1,100 a year to $20 per inspection, and that should cover it.
Yeah.
200 per inspection per year.
$20 per inspection.
How many times they got it?
Well, one does 7, one does 6.
Oh, what's it?
No, I understand that, but does that come out to a year?
Well, there's 13 of them. Are there 13?
Yeah, 13 and then once a
So
month.
every month, they would get 13 times $20, that'd be 260 times 12 months.
But they're not,
They're splitting it up.
yeah, they're splitting it up.
So this is what it's going to be now, is $20 per inspection rather than a set amount of money per month that they used to get.
Because that should only amount to $35 more
Not much more.
per, yeah.
Right.
That's a self-sufficient, that fund is self-made anyhow, it's from our money we collect.
I came up with $3,120. You were doing some figuring for the
Should
year.
be something in the 3,000.
Yeah, and I think that generates 3,800, if I remember, 3,800 and some odd dollars.
Yeah, that's what I got, 3,120.
in revenue in the state of that
What
was
would you end up with?
38 something, wasn't it?
Yeah, 38, 3,900 right in there.
Yeah.
We haven't had to
38.
do that.
If it gets up any higher, sheriffs will want to take that back over.
I'll make a motion that we do that.
Now, to do what?
For
That
the
we,
presented wages, salaries, charges, and fees, the whole
oh,
packet.
oh,
Are you making a motion to approve the new resolution?
yes, I'll make a motion to approve the new resolution with that change for the $20 per inspection.
Is there a second to the motion?
Yep.
Motion by Scarra, second by Williams to approve the wages, salaries, charges, and fees resolution for 2014, 2015. Any other discussion on that?
Yes.
Bruce,
Yes.
Rawl, yes, Sarah,
Yes.
Williams.
Yes.
Item E is consideration of approval of the Downtown Development Authority budget for the fiscal year 2015. Have that in your packet.
It should be done. Brian should be done after this.
Was there a date set for the presentation?
Yeah, there's some money left for the estate and stuff. Actually, this stuff, this stuff.
No, I asked if there was a,
Oh, the DDA meeting?
yeah.
No, there was not.
But I think it's fairly straight budget.
And you spoke with Brian after the DDA meeting, and did you guys talk about some possible dates?
19.
Okay.
So we're gonna do it on the 19th.
Okay.
The 19th happens to be board of review day.
We won't be here.
You're not meeting
We
here.
won't, no, we're not being here. Because we figured there might be some.
But I do believe that's a during the day meeting on the 19th.
So we
What
have,
time was it suggested to have it? What time are you done?
We're done at 4.
To be here then?
Is this that ad hoc meeting?
Yes.
yes.
Oh, no, I was asking for Brian's presentation, his summation.
Oh, that might be his goal.
That's on the ground, is he what it is?
That's what the ad hoc committee's gonna listen.
Oh,
Okay,
okay.
we still need to approve this DDA budget.
I'll make a motion we approve it.
Support.
Motion by Cruz, second by Paczynski to approve the presented DDA budget for fiscal year 2015. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? And the last item is consideration of the annual spring brush pickup. Kind of hard to set a date right now, the snow might still be here in May.
You think the snow will be gone by May?
Highly doubt.
Yeah, it might be July, but if I look at my pile,
Scott might be picking up, or whoever does it might be picking up snow with the brush.
Advertise for bids.
we got to put up for bids.
Yeah.
You could probably do that.
Yeah.
We can advertise for bids and maybe set the date at our April meeting for the actual pickup.
I would think we
Might have a better idea.
That came to May anyhow, set a date for May regardless.
What we do last year.
We usually
We
work
did
for,
First weekend, first Monday in May?
Yeah.
There's Monday, May,
It has to be dried up enough so the equipment can get,
Yeah.
without tearing everything up,
Yeah.
if it's wet.
we usually work with the person that gets the bid, to be able to work it into their schedule, and it's usually in May.
Well, let's at least let's at least
put it
have
off.
a motion to accept bids.
To advertise for
I'll
bids.
make a motion that we go out for bids on the trash can.
I'll second that motion.
Motion by Cruz, second by Skira to add out for bids for that we're accepting bids for the annual brush pickup. You want to include a deadline for bids on that, Dean?
Yeah, we should
Well,
probably.
we have to look at our calendar because
Look
we
at
want to
the
be sure that
calendar.
there's somebody here for the deadline date always.
So leave it up to Shirley.
Okay, that's good. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Public comment.
Well, I'm going to defend the chief because apparently there isn't anybody else is going to. So despite of what Mr. Skipsky had to say, we have probably one of the best fire departments, the best trained and some of the finest equipment in the county. That has to do with the leadership of Chief Katowski. There is some ill feelings between Ron and Kevin. It's quite obvious. I think Kevin misspoke a little bit this evening when he was talking and putting down Mr. Katowski's leadership ability. I completely disagree with that, and I know that not everyone voted in favor of the list of officers that Ron proposed, but as the new assistant chief, I would welcome anybody to come by the fire station and see what we do and what we have, and how dedicated those people really are. And again, that has to do with the leadership of Ron Katowski. And some of the questions that were asked this evening, the reports are there. They show who shows up for what and who does what there at the station. The only thing that Ron asked is that he dedicate some time to the department. Part of the assistant chief's position is to help the chief perform and operate and run the fire department. He asked Kevin to commit some time to that. Kevin's told him that he could not. And so Ron decided not to reappoint him as assistant chief. He had no intention whatsoever of having Kevin quit. That was Kevin's doing. That was his decision to make. Unfortunate as it may be, it was his decision to make, and that's what he did. So with that, I would like to invite anybody to come over, take a look at some of the equipment we have, some of the things that we do, some of the training requirements that we have for the fire service. And again, we have 26 of probably the most dedicated people in the county protecting and serving this community. So with that, I will leave that.
What if we had our next meeting at the fire department?
Pardon me?
What if we had our next meeting at the fire department?
I'm sure that Ron would welcome that, if that's what you'd like to do. So, but if anyone has any questions in regards to my comments, I'd be more than happy to answer any questions you may have. I've been on the department since 1992, and I've been through quite a few fire chiefs there. They've all been good chiefs, and Ron's been there a long time, and he's an excellent leader. And you need that when you have people that you're counting on to protect yourself. When you go into a burning building, you want to have that camaraderie that we currently have in our department, despite the fact of some of the comments that Mr. Skipsky said this evening. So,
Jim, I know there was a partial year, I think, when we had a different fire chief, when Ron stepped down. I can't remember.
That's correct. Mr. Cook.
Who else, who served as fire chief prior to Ron?
BJ, the gentleman that was here that Kevin presented the flag to, his father was a chief for a long time, Norm Rotz. I mean, it goes back to 1970 when our department was formed. It started as a fire brigade down at PCA, and in 1971 it moved up to this location where it's at now. 2003 we renovated, got some new equipment, and again, some of the things that we have is some of the finest equipment that's made. So, and again, that has to do with the dedication of Ron and some of the other people that are there. So, like I said, I've been on the department since 1992, and I've been under the leadership of Ron and Bill Fortin and Melvin Cruz, David Cook, and some of the others. So.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Any other public comment?
say after watching Ukraine and Russia all week, and then coming here, it kind of gives you a sad feeling because I respect and admire all these firefighters and the police, and I figure personally we have our house because of these guys, and it just saddened me that this couldn't have been handled a little different. I suppose maybe it's too much snow and it's everybody's kind of like, you know, but it was just saddening for me because I love all these guys.
Well, I think they were an excellent fire chief. I know he's dedicated, and I know he means the best for his department.
Well, and I think at the same time, it's unfortunate, like Del said, that it couldn't be worked out. Kevin, I think, was very, very dedicated, and unfortunately, he's got a job that, he's on a 12-hour shift and plus an hour each way travel. That puts a big dent in your day. Anything else? Betty? Anything else to come before the board? Dean, you got anything?
No, I don't. It's just a lot of snow.
Yeah. Dale?
No.
Sure.
Yes, I settled with the county today for taxes. I'm done for the year. He said, as long as so we have to pay in July.
Good?
Zero.
Tom?
Nothing.
I'll make a motion, we adjourn.
I'll second it.
Okay, motion by Kolonowski, second by Cruz to adjourn. All in favor?
Aye.